actually like to see some dark MAGA. I think it's time for Trump to get dark MAGA. I don't know. I don't think we've seen dark MAGA yet. I think it's time to go dark MAGA on California.
I actually like to see some dark MAGA.
What has happened to all these popular social media influencers who claim to love liberty and yet are overtly calling for tyranny and trashing the Bill of Rights? This is Owen Shroyer. I just want you to listen to what he says and let's weigh this and look at it through the lenses of freedom. This is crazy.
This was Trump earlier today, and he said this in clip 1.
And we're going to be celebrating big on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of, and if there's any protester wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I have.
So if you want to exercise your First Amendment right to protest against Trump's militarized, basically birthday party, where he's going to spend millions upon millions, tens of millions of dollars in tax cattle funds to actually carry this out, he's going to bring out force against people exercising the American rights that hundreds of thousands of men fought, bled, and died for.
I haven't even heard about a protest, but, you know, this is people that hate our country, but they will be met with very heavy force.
So I think we may have had this live, or I just might have missed it, but this was Trump, and I alluded to this yesterday as we watched the people burn the flag, and I'll respond to it again today. Here's Trump talking about punishment for burning an American flag in his speech just moments ago.
And the only flag that will wave triumphant over the streets of Los Angeles is the American flag. So help me God. The American flag is the one that's going to wave triumphantly over the street.
I guess not. Okay, well, the clip caption said Trump calls for prison for anybody burning the American flag. So I don't know if I got the wrong clip or if you guys want to find that. That's what the caption said. So I don't know why the caption said that. If
we do know 3 times Trump has said that. He's calling for a minimum of 12 months in prison for burning an American flag, a Chinese-made American flag. If you're not free to burn an American flag on American soil, this isn't the land of the free or the home of the brave.
I would say they should be arrested, and it's an interesting thing. You know, you got to find outside the box solutions to these problems. So they can fight it in court and probably win. I mean, I might even argue that it is your free speech right if you want to burn an American flag. It like hurts my soul to even say that, but yeah, if you want to burn any flag, if you want to burn a Mexican flag, a Hamas flag, an Israeli flag, whatever, that should all be considered free speech. But that's not the point. The point is that we're gonna try to put an end to this crap. And if you're going to burn an American flag, we're going to arrest you. And you're going to have to defend yourself in court. We're going to do that. And yeah, you might win and whatever the case is, but you're getting arrested. We're detaining your ass. We're sick of this crap. I don't know, maybe you sign an executive order. You can't burn an American flag. I mean, I'm not going to fight that.
What kind of conflict is going on inside of Owen Shroyer's mind? What kind of cognitive dissonance is this? I mean, he seems kind of wishy-washy, but on the other side of it, he seems kind of resolute. Yeah, put him in jail for burning an American flag. You deserve to go into a cage, be locked into a cage against your will for burning a piece of fabric?
I might say, well, it's a free speech issue. I don't know if I agree, but not dying on that hill. Don't burn an American flag.
I'm not going to die on the hill of American freedom and expressing your rights. Now, I don't suggest you burn an American flag. I'm not going to go out and burn an American flag. I'm not going to burn any kind of flag. It's just not in my heart to do that kind of thing. But if you're not free to burn a flag that you own without being punished and thrown into a cage, there is no freedom. There is no freedom of expression. And then where does it stop? You have the government put their foot in the door of putting you in prison for burning an American flag. Then what's next? And how are you going to stop that tyrannical snowball, which leads to a tyrannical avalanche once it started? You're not going to stop it. But wait, Owen's not done.
Jail for burning an American flag? Don't burn an American flag. But it's a little...
How about don't throw him in jail? That's what Owen Shroyer should be saying here. Don't throw them in jail for expressing freedom of speech. Don't do it. What do you want? You want somebody to go to jail for flashing their lights at oncoming traffic to let them know that there's a traffic stop ahead, there's a speed trap ahead, and you're going to save that person $150 to $250 by not getting stopped by that cop? Because it's freedom of speech to flash your lights. Is Owen Shroyer for jailing somebody who's warning somebody about a traffic stop, a speed trap ahead? Where does it stop, Owen? Where's your moral standard? What happened to your moral compass?
It's really the timing. It's like, oh, you're gonna wave foreign flags, you're gonna burn American cities to the ground, and then you're gonna burn the American flag. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna come in here, and maybe we're gonna put you in shackles.
It is dumb waving a foreign flag. Let's say you're an American and you're in Belize, or you're in North Korea, or China, or Mexico, and you're waving an American flag talking about how bad Mexico or how bad China is. What do you expect is going to happen to you? You're dumb. You're a dumbass.
Maybe you're going to spend some time in a cement box. Maybe that's a little much for us. And,
from the guy who went to prison unjustly so for the J6 crap. You would think of all people, he would say, no, you don't go into a cage unless you harm somebody, unless you threaten to harm them, unless you damage their property and refuse to pay for it, unless you steal somebody's property, unless you're causing mayhem and disturbing people in society. You don't deserve to go to a cement box. That's not how Owen Shroyer is looking at this.
The judge might toss your case. You might say, I'm tossing this. Okay, so you get out. We're not going to tolerate that. Okay, so I think we have the clip now. Go ahead.
But they proudly carry the flags of other countries, but they don't carry the American flag. They only burn it. Did you see a lot of the flags being burned? They weren't being burned by people from our country or from people that love our country. People that burn the American flag should go to jail for 1 year. That's what they should be doing. 1 year. And we'll see if we can get that done. We're going to try and get that done. We're working with some of your senators. I know Senator Josh Hawley is very much involved. And I know the two senators from here. I think you guys, are you guys in favor of it? Boy, would this be a bad time for them to say no. I got you. I got those 2 votes.
That's tyranny and oppression. And no matter how distasteful you think it is to burn an American flag, you're supporting tyranny when you're approving of and applauding people going to jail for burning that China-made American flag.
Does the city of L.A. have no pride? Do the liberals and the Democrats that live in L.A. have no pride at all? No pride, no shame? Are they just filled with that much hatred they just don't even care?
This is just dumb. What does this prove? What does burning an American flag in the streets of L.A. do? What positive result can come of this? This is utter ignorance, and you never want to underestimate the power of stupid people in large crowds. Now check this out right here. Listen real close to what he says. What are you calling for here, Owen?
You know what Trump really should do? You know what would really stick it to him? More, maybe just as much. I think it's time for Trump to get dark MAGA. I don't know. I don't think we've seen dark MAGA yet. I think it's time to go dark MAGA on California. It's time to show Gavin Newsom and the California Democrats what dark MAGA really looks like. Cut the federal funding, cut the SALT deductions, and then move all Olympic or World Cup events that would have been hosted in Los Angeles and move them to Florida or Texas, move them to Miami, move them to Dallas, move them to Houston. You want to see dark MAGA? Have a little taste of dark MAGA. Enjoy your third world hellhole. We're pulling the Olympics. We're pulling the World Cup. We're pulling the federal funding. We're pulling the SALT deductions. Good luck. Enjoy. Enjoy your politics. Enjoy. That's dark MAGA.
You know what real dark MAGA is? Dark MAGA is being bought and paid for by Rothschilds Inc., and then turning around and giving the employee of Rothschilds Inc. the Commerce Secretary job 25 years later after he's bailed out by Rothschilds Inc. to Wilbur Ross. Dark MAGA is putting a Goldman Sachs lifer and central banking consultant in as the Treasury Secretary. That's Steve Mnuchin. Dark MAGA is hiring one of the biggest warmongers, former CIA director Mike Pompeo. And then there was Bolton, and then he ended up firing him. And I didn't know. Oh my gosh, it's new. Dark MAGA is overseeing and putting your signature on the biggest power and wealth transfer that the world, not just the United States, the world has ever seen, $6.2 trillion, and then handing the lion's share of that money over to the big pharma industrial complex and to the corporate elitists, while tens of thousands of American businesses go bankrupt during the Trump-initiated shutdown of the COVID-19 84 by George Orwell planned organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, according to James Bullard from the Federal Reserve. That's dark MAGA. Trump has already overseen dark MAGA by hiring Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx. Trump has already initiated dark MAGA with red flag gun confiscation laws. I like take the guns first, due process second. If that's not dark MAGA, there's no such thing as dark MAGA. So Owen Shroyer, I ask you, why are you supporting dark MAGA, which literally equals tyranny? Yeah, Gavin Newsom is Gavin Newscum, and the mayor of LA is a leftist idiot. Of course. But you're involving and selling your audience on, Owen, the WWE, Left versus Right, dog and pony clown show under the political big top. That's what you're doing. Now you're calling for dark MAGA? Basically summoning the power of, what is it, the fifth level of Satanism? MAGA? Isn't that what it is? MAGA is the fifth level of Satanism, and Owen Shroyer is calling for it. Hey, Owen, give me a call. DM me. Let's talk. I got questions, and you really need some answers.
Actually like to see some dark MAGA. And then these Democrats might have a little more fear. They might take Trump a little more seriously. And that might stop all this madness.
It's nonsense, satanic imagery here of their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump.
Now let's go to some of these other clips we have.
That's all I got for you. I just wanted to let you hear what Owen Shroyer said about dark MAGA, summoning the power of dark MAGA, because we got to get them Democrats. Yeah, the Democrats are defunct. They're BS. So are the Republicans. We should all know this. And this is a psychological operation to get us on board with being desensitized, dehumanized, and demoralized. And Owen Shroyer is applauding it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.